What's up, guys? Knight here. Today I have a math video for you. There's the link, there's the title, there's the host, I guess you can say. Basically, there's a discussion that happened down here. I'm not gonna go over all of this, but I pointed all that out. And then these comments happen between and blah blah blah. You can read it if you want. You have to pause it, of course. Let me just open it up for you. No read mores. Okay, so there you go. You can read it if you want, pause it, and do whatever. But anyways, so basically this discussion happened, right? And basically this guy, this last comment that I received, it was allowed me to basically branch two branches together to connect two branches that I couldn't get connected before. Um, Verbally, basically. In my head, I got it. It's just I couldn't explain it to people, I guess. And this is basically the best way to explain it. Now, this guy says, drive across a bridge designed and built by someone who says, well, my gut tells me it will work. Or fly in a plane designed and built by someone who says the same thing. The wing looks like a wing, it should fly, right? Intuition will help you along the way in the designing process, but only math can tell you if it will truly work. Many of these systems are extremely complex and can't be done in your own head as you like to claim. I mean, try to build me a functioning computer based on intuition. Mathematics is used everywhere, and even though you may be able to work some things out in your head, if human lives are at risk, in the case of the bridge and the airplane, you better have a mathematical model to prove it will work. Okay, he's wrong, basically. He's completely wrong. Now, the one thing he is right about is that our brains are limited and we are able to expand our brains via computers, and they can do things that our brains can't do. But for him to say that it's a computer or math that's doing it is incorrect. It's actually us using the computer and using math. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Math, like time, is not real. Okay, period. No matter how you look at it, math is like time. They are both not real. Okay, so I'm just going to read what I said real quick, and then I'm going to go over what I'm talking about now. What you said has nothing to do with anything I said, so if you read those, then there you go. Your example, what he said basically is like you need to drive a car and you dig a hole, and that's all you know how to do. You need to drive a car, but all you know how to do is dig a hole, so it means nothing, right? Math doesn't tell you anything. What works is what works. Math is just a label of what works. That doesn't mean math works. And what I mean by that is when you say 2 plus 2 is 4 and you apply that in the real world, that's you just doing stuff using labels and an imaginary timeline or, inch line that you created, that we created. You know what I mean? An inch didn't always exist. That measurement was never always a thing. You know what I mean? We created that. Just like time. Tomorrow will come, but without time, there is no tomorrow, technically. You know what I mean? It's just the sun's going to rotate, or I'm sorry, the earth's going to rotate around the sun. That's all that's really happening. Tomorrow isn't actually a thing. This is also why I tell people that talk about time travel that they're stupid because there's no such thing as time. The whole object of time is relative is bullshit because there's no such thing as time. You know what I mean? You can't go and base something off of something that doesn't exist and then try to create examples off of what you created that doesn't exist because it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? You're an atheist because you don't let people do that with God, yet here you are doing it with time and math. You know what I mean? It makes no sense, and this is just a touch on my atheism video. This is why I'm more religious than anything. I'm agnostic right now, but I actually am anti atheist because, like math, there's good to come with math. Like time, there's good to come with math, and it's the same thing with religion too. There is good to come with religion, so believe just because. Even if God's not real, believe anyway. Because there's a lot of good that comes with it. That's how I look at math as well. That's how I look at time. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's absolute. But yeah, I'll use it. The word meta in League of Legends, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's true. I don't think it really works. But people understand it, so I use it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's just a tool for me. So, anyways, uh, another thing I wrote down was, you are making the same mistake most people make. Physics doesn't work because math. Math was just built around physics. There is a difference. This is why I disagree with most scientists, even professors, that claim math is the language of the universe, because it isn't. It is just our translation of the universe as best as we can explain it currently, which personally I feel is flawed and can be better. Alright, so I pretty much completed the video. I ranted here, I'm not gonna lie, so you can cut now. But for those people who are very philosophical and can kind of just follow far fetched ideas and try to relate, keep listening, because I stretch pretty thin here, admittedly, but it's all relevant if you can really understand it. But again, like it's pretty stretched thin, and I will sound crazy. I can back everything up, but I will sound crazy. Just letting you know. So you can leave now, or you can continue to listen. It's up to you. All right, your call. You know what I mean? But kind of like how the oil industry right now has kind of like a gripping, like it has full control of our world right now, right? There's electric energy and electric motors that we have, energy, solar power, wind power, green energy, basically. It's right there, but because of the hold that oil has, we can't just go over to it. I feel the same way with new math. We just don't have those ideas yet. You know what I mean? People are still gonna they gotta still create it. The problem is though right now is everyone believes that oil is the only way, and that's how they look at math. Math is the only way. Oil is the only way. That's how they're looking at it. I disagree with that. I personally can see electric cars being a thing, just like I can see there being a ways around math. You know what I mean? Because like if you look, I'm not gonna get too into it, but if you look at math and you really break it down, it really falls apart, and it starts getting to this point where it's just you gotta believe me just because I'm telling you to believe me, and it works just because it works. Just go with it. Literally, that's the foundation of it. It's the same thing as religion. Just believe me, and that's it. That's basically how it breaks down. So, anyways, that pretty much concludes what this video is about. And again, it's just as a recap. I'm just trying to explain to you that math is not real, time is not real, math is not the language of the universe. These are all just tools used by us. They're not real. You know what I mean? The sun is just sitting there, and we are rotating around the sun. And technically, the sun and the solar system is rotating around in our universe as well. But we're far too basic and primitive to be able to put that on paper. You know what I mean? Okay, the sun is, and we live too short of times to actually matter or to write this down, because like it could be like, oh well, it takes 14 light years, or it takes 1400 years for our universe to rotate around its black hole, for example, right? We're too primitive. We don't know. Okay, that's kind of where I'm coming from. Okay, like that whole concept, that idea, that's where I'm coming from. I'm ahead of the game, essentially. I'm before my time, but I'm trying to reach back, and I'm trying to go back in time, quote unquote, basically just trying to reach through um, that generation gap whole deal. I'm part of a certain generation with Neil deGrasse and all them fools. Like they're older than me, don't get me wrong, but my mind is up there with them. And the thing is, I'm like, you guys are wrong. Let me try to reach out to some other fools and other people and try to get my message out, because you guys are all wrong. You know what I mean? And it pisses me off to hear these people are like, oh, they're wrong, atheism, blah, 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 blah. God's not real, blah, 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 and creation, procreation, or pro, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm branching way too much right now. But I feel it's all, everything is related. One way or another, everything is related, I feel. There's some way to connect it, period. There's always going to be one way to connect it to another thing. That's just how it works. We're human, humanity, we're all one species. We're all going to connect in one way. It's the same thing with the universe. In some way, somehow, some way, it's all going to be connected. And again, I just found a way to, what's it called? Include religion into that, basically. So I'm all encompassing here. You know what I mean? This is why I feel I'm superior to certain people at times, but not because I'm better, just because I know better. You know what I mean? And I thought about it further than they have, and I'm trying to get you guys to hear me, to meet me up here, become my equals. Now let's march forward. But the problem is, no one can get up here with me, apparently. Apparently, I'm too far up there. Apparently. You know what I mean? I tell the world, we all have a high horse. You know what I mean? You think I'm on a high horse. You think I'm egotistical. You think I'm arrogant. Well, you can be like me too. You know what I mean? And then you'll be like, oh, you're not egotistical. You're not arrogant. You just know what the hell you're talking about, right? I'm not egotistical. I'm not riding a high horse. You have a high horse too. We all have it. You know what I mean? Get on it. Let's go, right? And my problem, I will say, is I'm disabled, so I can't ride it anywhere near as long as I would like to. You know what I mean? Or I can't go as far as I would want, or I can't lift as many rocks out of my way that I would like to be able to move out of my way because of my disability. You know what I mean? But yet, for some reason, I'm still making better traction and distance than a lot of other people. And it makes no damn sense. And again, the conclusion to that is stop being ignorant, jump on your high horse, and let's go. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. And I get science is boring and blah, 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 but it's only boring because you're stupid. You know what I mean? If you were actually smart enough to be curious and inquisitive, it becomes interesting. Even the boring shit becomes interesting because you're like, I wonder, will, when, how, and then you know what I mean. That's how it goes. But everyone's like, oh, nothing's happening. Where's the explosion? Because you're stupid and you don't realize what's going on at the very basic, primitive core levels. You're just looking for the bang. You don't see the chemicals leaking towards one another. You don't see the liquid becoming a gas and then it's becoming air or air molecules or whatever, and then suddenly they rush into each other and collide, and then they suck into each other, and then the vapors are assumed, and now the liquids collide, and then the whole explosion. You don't see all that. You're just like, where's the explosion? This is stupid. This is boring. I could be fucking all stupid. Play football, throw a ball. And even football can be boring at times, dude. There's downs, there's timeouts and shit. It's the same fucking. Like I said, everything's connected, man. Everything's connected. Anyways, again, just a recap. Math is not what you think it is. Okay? Time is not what you think it is. We are handicapping ourselves by treating it like we are, or at least like you guys are. It's not. It's fake, dude. It's not real. The universe doesn't give a fuck about math. The universe doesn't give a fuck about you. You know what I mean? Get over that fact. Get over that concept where you think you matter, you think time matters, or you think blah blah blah. It doesn't matter, okay? So I don't know. I'm kind of just talking myself out, I guess, and my memory sucks due to my disability. So I don't remember where I came from or where I covered already. So forgive me if this is all, you know what I mean. But I will say it is all on point and it all matters and it's all very, you need to know this shit basically. Okay. So anyways, that's it. Take it real. Keep it easy. Have a good ending. Peace.